Aloha and welcome back to the Kilauea Eruption in Leilani Estates update for July 8th, 2018. In this update we got something really good for y'all, something special. But first we'll get to the update. There's not a lot to talk about. There's a few things that need to be pointed out, but that's it. So let's get right to that. The USGS reports for Sunday, July 8th, 2018 at 11:18 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time that the eruption in the lower east rift zone continues with no significant changes over the past 24 hours. Fissure 8 is still supplying a continuous supply of lava to the open channel with only small short-lived overflows. The cone is still 55 meters, 180 feet tall at its highest point, and fountains still rarely rise above that. As shown on the July 6th thermal map of the flow field, the main lava channel no longer directly enters the ocean. The open channel flow ends about 2 kilometers or 1.2 miles inland of the coast. Lava continues to enter the ocean, however, from multiple points along the entire ocean entry area, primarily along the northern section. In addition, multiple ooze-outs fed flows on the north and southwest edge of the main flow field, but neither have had lava actually entering the ocean. Fissure 2 was noted as weakly spattering overnight as well. Up at Highway 130, there's still been no noted changes to temperature, crack width, or gas emissions for several days. Up at the Kilauea Volcano Summit, another collapse explosion event at Kilauea Summit occurred at 2:55 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time on July 8th with the equivalent energy of a magnitude 5.4 earthquake. The seismicity dropped abruptly afterwards and remains low at this time. Seismic activity is expected to increase during the next several hours and accumulate in another collapse explosion on Monday. Inward slumping of the rim and the walls of Halima'oma'o continue in response to the ongoing subsidence at the summit. And finally, the EPA air monitoring sensor over on Compono Street in Leilani currently reads for July 8th, 2018 at 3:37 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, 0 parts per million for SO2 and 0 parts per million for H2S. Alright, well that does it for the basic update. Now I want to get to the little extra something special that I have for y'all tonight. What it is real simple. I ran into some residents earlier and asked them if they would be kind enough to talk to us and share their experience with us. So I met them down at the barricade to Pomokai and Kahakai, and this is what they said. I'm down here at the corner of Pomokai and Kahakai at these barriers. Just down here, just check the area out, see what things are looking like vegetation-wise. As you can see, everything's still nice and green everywhere. While I was down here, though, I did encounter some neighbor friends of mine, and I asked them if they would be willing to talk to us and share their story, and they said very graciously, they said yes. Let's put it that way, okay? Don't laugh at me. It's okay. So anyways, let me introduce y'all to them right now. Over here we have Vladimir and his charming other half, Vanessa. Isn't she beautiful, people?
Aloha.
And of course, Vladimir's more interested in the helicopters up there than talking to us, it looks like. But that's okay. So, hey guys, I appreciate y'all doing this. Thank you. I'm sure everybody on my channel is going to enjoy it as well. At least I hope they do. If they don't, they'll let me know, I'm sure. So let's get to it. I just want to ask you a few questions. I want to basically get your story, how this has affected y'all. I mean, a lot of my viewers, know how it's affected me. And Scott from About Hawaii Tours, we've been obviously on camera telling, this stuff. So I think it'd be nice to get a different perspective of the human interest story, from other people that are going through this as well, in a different part of the neighborhood. They live actually on the south side of Leilani compared to me being on the north side, people. So let's ask them a simple question. What were you doing when you heard Fissure 1 erupted? Where were you and what were you doing? Do you remember?
I was at Hilo Medical Center working at the hospital, and I work with the case management department up there at Hilo Medical Center, and everybody had their phones as it was happening, and they were all telling me, Vanessa, you need to get to your neighborhood. There's cracks in your neighborhood, and lava's coming up, and I don't know, I almost didn't think didn't seem real to me at the time. It was took a while to hit.
Yeah, it seems to be the sentiment that
Yeah.
It took a lot of us a long time
Yeah.
actually to realize this is happening.
Instead of concentrating on what was happening, I kind of put myself more into my work, and I was like, okay, I've got to finish out my day. I have to act normal. I think it's something that we do when a disaster starts to happen, is we try and act as normal as possible to prevent the emotions,
Panic,
and,
chaos,
panic.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was in Hilo, and I was working, and I just didn't feel like I
In case the
could
bosses look like
drop everything.
was at the ball game.
What about you?
Yeah. So where were you and what were you doing?
When the lava actually erupted, it was already, we were looking at maybe 3 or 4 days of no sleep prior to that, because there was a lot of earthquakes and just constant rumbling and jolting, right? And so you couldn't sleep. So we had already been sleep deprived for 3 or 4 days prior to it erupting down here. And I just cruised back from Hilo and was driving down, and there was a lot of chaos, sirens and everything. So what do I do? It's like, ooh, sirens, let's go see. So, right? And neighbors were just telling me, hey, don't go down there. And I was like, why not? It's lava. And just that sound, lava, it's actually here. It's very surreal. That just like, I had to get my head wrapped around that real quick. Like, lava, I'm from California. Earthquakes, I understand you. Fire, I understand. But lava, what does that mean? So it was, I don't want to say I sort of dismissed it, but I really was extremely naive about it. So okay, then drove back home, and our teenage daughter was home, and I just explained to her, I was like, listen, I don't want to panic you, but there's actually lava flow down there, and it didn't hit her till, what was it, the sulfur smell that night.
Yeah.
Then reality kicked in for everyone.
Yeah, from what I've heard from other people, that until they smelt the sulfur, it wasn't real.
Yeah.
And it was when they smelt the sulfur that they decided, okay, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So when y'all smelt the sulfur, did y'all leave?
Oh yeah, we
We did. We had a close friend of ours that passed from lava gases prior to that, a few months prior to this happening, and that's what ended up killing him. So when the smell came to our house, we hightailed it out. We didn't take anything but our pets.
Right.
We didn't, just the shirts on our backs and our pets, and left. But yeah, it was the gases we were afraid of, not the lava. The lava was down from us, and everybody knows it just flows down. So
yeah, we just figured it was right. It was like, okay, you smell sulfur, lava's nearby, and I was like, oh, it's right here, it's by the house. We was like,
we didn't know if our property was opening up.
Case and doom times happening and booked.
Yeah.
And then instantly regretted that, because we're grown-ups. We stayed at a friend's place, or no, what did we do? We actually
got a hotel. We got a hotel in Hilo.
Okay,
and
so
we had to
it was
drop
instant regret after the bill came.
Bill's always the regret.
I was like, wait a minute.
Plus,
How long did we stay here?
We had to sneak our dogs into the hotel, and
a lot of them's not pet friendly.
Yeah, it wasn't comforting. Plus, we were up all night on our phones trying to figure out what was still going on over here.
Yeah.
So it was easier for us to stay here in the midst of all this than be away from it and worry about what was happening. At least being here, we know.
Participant versus spectator. That really changed it for us. So we took ownership of that. We started going to see the lava flow and seeing where it was coming out from. And then I became an armchair volcanologist, geologist.
I think we all have.
Right?
Just for a little bit of background for the viewers, I met these people thanks to the volcanic eruption. Basically, I put a message out on a local social media site for our neighborhood asking who all stayed versus evacuating, and they contacted me and I called them, and we've become very good friends since. And actually, I want to point out though, you said become an armchair volcanologist and going to see the lava. Just for you guys, I don't mean to put Vladimir on the spot here, but
It's true. We know where you're going with
yeah, I
this
know,
story.
I can see the look on your face. Yeah,
Yep.
Vladimir's like, what did I do? Okay, well let me tell it. It was when I first met them, they were, I don't want to say terrified by the lava, but I believe they would be. I mean, I was terrified, right?
Yes. We didn't come near it.
Right, I asked them a few times, so have you seen it? No. And it's like, come on guys, let me take you down, let me show it to you, because then you can see what it is and it makes it more real, and it makes it easier to deal with. So they finally agreed, we took them down there, And they showed them. They loved it. They were awestruck just like the rest of us. And I remember, I think it was the second time we went out to see it. We come down here to, I believe it was either Kalupili or Mahala. And the lava was flowing on the road, and Vanessa was standing there next to me looking at some that was back in the forest burning. And I asked her, hey, do you want to come up here, with me? And she said, no, I'm good here. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I understand. You stay there. If you need anything, just holler. I'll be right over here. Because, I was trying to keep an eye out for them, guys. And I turned around and went looking for Vanessa, and where did I find her? Standing 3 inches from the lava.
Yeah. Ooh, ah.
So yeah. So
It's
beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm
Absolutely.
sure a lot of your viewers have seen it through your videos and everything, but to be standing in front of it is it's awe-inspiring what nature is, and watching land being born as we're standing here on the planet is pretty impressive.
it is an impressive sight.
It is. It's such a destructive, formidable. It's just nature. And we were like, Charles, we were that close to it, and you could feel the radiating heat, but you weren't singeing up.
Yeah.
You're dead immediately.
Contrary to popular belief, things don't
wasn't-
spontaneously combust next to lava.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I know myself. I was terrified about it, and then getting next to it, seeing it, and then I really started appreciating the beauty of it and just the totality of what it does.
And after that night, we were addicted. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
we were
happens.
responsible for that.
Yeah, you start.
And-
Sorry, guys.
We kind of had.
Then every day I come down and go look.
We kind of had free range as being residents of this place where everything was happening, to just go and see it wherever we wanted. The police and civil defense weren't even involved in the first couple of weeks, really.
They weren't completely involved. I mean, they weren't. Things got locked down a couple weeks after things. I guess things got a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
So they started locking it down, and I know that was one thing that we were a little upset about as residents, is that they literally cut off our access to the current information.
To real-time
real-time
information, and we're here next to
Right.
it. We
Boots
need
on
to
the
know.
ground. We knew each other, and we were watching. And I would text you, Charles, did you see this house? The one we were at.
Yeah.
It's gone today. It was there yesterday, but it's gone today. Like, what? Go down and check this thing out. So we knew where the fissures were opening, and we knew real time, warning everyone, hey, listen, stay away from this street. Fissure this is looking like it's
There
going to
was
start
like
out.
gases are really
We
strong
knew.
in this area. Don't go here, and
And
so
then after that,
we were prepared. If we had to go anywhere in the neighborhood, we were prepared.
All right, well, let me ask you this then. Compared to what it was in the beginning, where we had access to all these, we weren't faced with these barriers, people,
Yeah.
Right.
and we had access, so we could check on this stuff ourselves, and then all of a sudden it gets cut off. How did that make y'all feel safe-wise? Did you feel more safe or less safe? Or?
absolutely
Yeah,
less safe. No
less safe.
information. Without information, like I was explaining in the beginning, we were just outsiders looking, and then once we became active participants of it, it took the fear away, and now we had
Yes.
knowledge and where it was,
Yes.
and now no information, so now we're back to just being viewers and watching, like, oh my God, is it going to break out here? What's it doing? Where is it going? How bad is the flow?
And that's why your posts are so important.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
need that information.
We need it every day. And over coffee.
And it was,
I have become a coffee table, channel apparently. I've got a lot of
coffee.
viewers that tell me,
Maybe you should change it.
when I get up,
coffee with Charles.
coffee with Charles. Well, maybe we
let
could
it
do another
flow.
segment like that.
Flow.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that one. But yeah, I've gotten comments from other viewers stating, which I think are just great. I love my commenters. That some of the things they come up with, some are very funny, very insightful, informative, helpful, and some, of course, just wishing us the best, blah blah blah. But one of the comments I poster made was that every morning when the woman gets up, her husband already has one of my videos, my latest video, queued up on her TV for her to watch, ready to go every morning.
Yeah.
So if you're out there listening, you really need to do something nice for him. Just saying, But so let me ask this now. Because this is a very good question. Okay, we're living it.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been living it for 66, 67 days, whatever it is now. And I know in the beginning it was all chaos for everybody. It's like we didn't know what to do with work, we didn't know what to do with living, we didn't know what to do with our houses, our pets. I mean, we just really didn't know what to do. But now it's been so long, it's almost become a permanent fixture. It's almost like, them building something down the street. It makes a lot of noise, creates some debris, dust in the air, blah, blah, blah. The helicopters, but it's become a normal thing. What do y'all think about that?
That sounds, yeah.
I don't know.
How normal has your life returned to?
It really hasn't. I mean, I still wake up in a disaster zone every day, and I still come home to a disaster zone every day. So I think what I feel is more than anything is just exhausted. I'm tired.
Agreed.
I'm really tired.
Emotions.
In the beginning, we were all pumped up on adrenaline as this thing was happening. So it was easy to function and go to work and you know, and come home to this and still be on your adrenaline thing. But yeah, the lack of sleep that we get and trying to function like a normal human while all this is going on around you is really difficult.
Yeah.
I agree. It is difficult.
And it gets so loud in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Oh, the Fisher. Yeah.
Yeah, the
It's
sound.
like, oh yeah, I wasn't referring to her snoring. Not what I meant.
Be specific.
Yeah. Just want to clarify, yes, he's talking about the fissure
gets
noise,
so
guys.
loud.
You know, the rumble and the hiss that I've shown you on other videos? Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Really
And I can tell.
And then if it gets quiet too, you get nervous because you're like, oh my
Where is
gosh,
she?
it stopped.
What
Is
is
it
she
going to build up
doing?
on the 130? Because the 130 is kind of above us.
Right.
So that would then put us in danger of it flowing down to us.
Yeah, so we're not.
That is a possibility, people. If anything that happens up on 130, it's possible the lava, if it did flow the right way, it could flow down into Leilani from the top area.
Yeah.
However, yeah, we're in the path of greatest descent. However, I do know that the county has opened up 130, allowing all traffic to go. The roadblock at 130 and 132 is completely gone. You can't even see any evidence that there was ever a checkpoint roadblock there. So I'm hoping that with them opening up that road, that's the county saying things are getting better. But I really think the county was just pushed into opening that road for business purposes. I think it's a money-driven thing. But yeah, I'm okay with that as long as the situation is monitored. And y'all have heard my reports about 130 that there's been no changes in the crack, the temperature, the steam.
They put cameras now. You can actually go online and check on them daily.
Oh,
I do.
Really, cameras? Okay,
Yeah,
I did not know that.
It shows, it's got them up on Volcano, the Highway 132, 130, temperature, and it shows you they have infrared cameras on there.
Oh, excellent.
And live cameras, so you can see them both, and you can see the heat signatures, and it will tell you what the average and the high temperature was. During the days, it'll rise up to about 170 or so, but that's, you know, I'm thinking also with the sun.
Yeah, with the radiant heat off the asphalt.
And then the steam, you can see that when it rains. But yeah, so that's always a good thing for us. We always look at that.
Yeah. Guys, I will get those links from Vladimir. I'll check them out, and if it's good stuff, I'll post them in my description for everybody else to go take a look. Hey, the more people that's monitoring, you know, the better. Hey, more eyes on a problem, the quicker the solution is the way I always looked at it.
Let each other know what's happening even quicker in case anything does happen. That's why we don't have access to this like we used to. Now we have to come up with other ways to keep everybody informed.
Yeah, other ways are, well, y'all guys know what that is. well, my viewers, that is. They watch some other channels, so they know the other ways we're getting information.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get anybody in trouble.
It's not the same, though. I mean,
no, it's not.
My eyeballs on this.
Yeah.
I want to see it. You know? Plus, it's a once in a lifetime. Let's be honest about that. Besides the whole destruction, I totally get that. I'm here. I'm living it. But it's also just awe-inspiring and humbling.
The good things that have come out of this is I would say we've gotten to know our neighbors because this is a retirement community mostly. So we work, you know, so much that we never really even knew anybody. And now we've made friendships that are going to last
hopefully a lifetime.
Yeah, a lifetime.
I know there's quite a few people like y'all that I've met, you know, since this. Because just a reminder, my viewers, I did not know these individuals here prior to the eruption. I met them through the eruption, just like I've met a lot of my other neighbors.
Water person.
He's the grip apparently for providing water for people. Vladimir. That's okay. Some of the people will like it. Some people won't. Sorry, guys. But that's okay.
Have to edit that out.
We're all adults here, hopefully. So let me ask one more question and we'll wrap this up. Because this is, I guess, a very important question. It's even a question I've been asking myself. When this is over, what am I going to do? Am I going to stay? Am I going to leave? Am I going to try to sell my house? I mean, it's technically with that notice we got, our property value should be zero, which means selling it is going to be impossible, even if the county would let us sell.
Maybe they're even doing eminent domain. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So let's say everything stays normal. They let us keep our property. They don't give us any troubles. You know, are y'all going to stay? Would you sell? I mean,
we're staying.
We've stayed.
Stayed.
After what is it? 3 days at the hotel. And
She stays at the hotel.
okay, I stayed 3 days. She stayed 2. And then one day, at a friend's house.
Yeah, we had
With kids and everything,
Yeah.
sleeping in a room and everything. We're like, no. I like to walk around butt naked. I don't need.
Vladimir's a very open and honest person,
Another-
guys,
Work.
so I
I'm
apologize.
sorry. Back to the point being is that
We like to be all natural at home.
this is home. It's home. It's
We
home.
don't move here because we don't want our privacy. I mean, these are all 1-2 acre lots with
space.
gates in the front of them and lots of foliage and greenery. It's beautiful.
beautiful
and
neighborhood.
We do move here because we like a little bit of solitude. We like our privacy. We love nature.
I think that's the exact reason why we're all here.
Yep.
Yeah.
We love the nature, we love the green, we love the peace and quiet that we normally have.
Now it sounds like South Central in
Yeah.
LA. Anybody from there? Hello.
I do have a lot of California viewers,
Yeah.
so I'm sure that they will appreciate that shout out.
Yeah.
But no, we decided then and there, like, no, we're gonna stay. If Tutu Pele wants, her place back, then by all means. But that's the only way. We honestly felt that she invited us here when we visited, and then we vacationed again, and then we fell in love, and we feel like there was a draw, and so
We were invited.
we just decided, like, look, we looked at each other, like, okay, if Tutu Pele shows up at the door, I'm gonna invite her in, and then and only then will we leave.
That's my philosophy too. Only Pele can tell me to move.
There's no feeling in the world like not being able to go home and put your head down in your own bed.
Own pillow, yeah.
People, what it's like. It's where
The
we
people,
stayed.
yeah, my heart goes out to the people that are in the shelters, anybody who's homeless in this world. That's
Yes.
got to be one of the biggest crimes that we're letting other people sleep out in the streets. It's horrible.
Necessary.
Yeah.
Well, I can honestly say though, I can't speak for other communities or other areas in the world, but I learned something about our Leilani Estates community here, is we are just that, a community.
Yes.
We don't care if we know each other. If you need help, you got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
you have to do is let us
Reach
know.
out. Yep.
Because we're not mind readers. We don't know who needs help unless you ask for it. And, a lot of people are a little too proud to ask for help.
Oh yeah.
But not in this case. I have seen people, come out and say, hey, I need help moving this. I need help fixing this. I need help doing that. And
Feed my pet while I can't get back in, or
Yeah.
Didn't the lady tell you to go to feed her chickens?
yeah, and see, that's how we are as a community. And I'll be honest with you, as my viewers, I would ask y'all to take this as a lesson and say, hey, you see how we're acting as a community in the middle of a disaster?
Right.
We should be doing this every day, every week,
That's
all
aloha.
year long. That's aloha.
That's
You're absolutely
why
right.
we're not going to leave. We can't leave.
So what I'm saying to my viewers and all you guys is don't wait for something horrible to happen to get to know your neighbors.
Right.
Simple as that.
Right.
All right, guys, I want to say thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Y'all were great. I'm sure everybody out there watching is going to enjoy this as well.
After you edit it, of course.
Well, we might beep out a few. We don't know. We'll see in processing, but we don't want to offend anybody, of course.
Right.
But nothing really horrible was said, guys. In case I don't edit it, you'll hear it. But anyway, is there anything else y'all would like to share before?
Come visit us.
Yes.
Shops are open.
Oh, it's safe. Yes. The
Hawaii is
1:30
open.
Hawaii is open for business, folks.
Uncle Robert's Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
See you there. Bring your business here. It's beautiful,
Excellent.
and it has
Excellent.
aloha.
Come for the aloha.
Aloha to y'all too. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Charles.
Okay, people, we're going to call this one to an end. I think this is one of the longest videos I've made so far, over 20 minutes at this point. But it's good stuff. So, say hello to our helicopters. Oh, and there's all kinds of birdies up in the tree. I don't know if y'all can hear them. But, okay, guys, I'm just going to ramble on. You know how I am. One final thing. I want to say thank you to everybody out there that has just loved the Look at That There segment. Just so you know, look at that there is something that's said in the South. It's a Southern slang expression. And I'm just really glad that everybody has embraced it. And we will be doing more of that. Okay, guys, thank you a lot. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you next time.
This has been the Leilani Estates update for July 8th, 2018.